What up guys, welcome to Angela Avalon's YouTube channel. I'm Angela. Subscribe if you want to know everything about astrology, natal chart and synastry. And today or tonight, whenever it is that you are watching this video, I'm going to talk about Venus in Scorpio male gaze. Venus in Scorpio men, right? Venus in Scorpio, the male gaze, right? Yeah, I'm using both expressions, but they ultimately mean the same thing, hopefully. For me, they mean the same thing, at least, but yeah. So this is about the Venus in Scorpio placement natally in a man's natal chart. In this video, of course, I'm going to talk about the heterosexual man because that is the energy I'm most familiar with. So yeah, so this is about like the heterosexual male gaze when he has a Venus in Scorpio in his natal chart. So yeah. And so when Venus, okay, so first of all, I'm gonna give a quick general description of the placement itself and then apply it to a man, a heterosexual man having it in his natal chart, okay? So yeah, so Venus is the planet of relationships, okay? It's a planet of relationships of all kinds, romantic friendships, platonic, business partnerships, right? It rules over the second and seventh house. It also rules the way we earn our money and the way we deal with society, basically. And Scorpio is, of course, ruled by both Pluto and Mars. It's the predominant ruler is Pluto, the modern ruler, and the Mars is the co-ruler of Pluto that represents also the 8th house. It's ruling over the 8th house. So, what does it mean when a heterosexual man has Venus in Scorpio in his natal chart? Well, first of all, the kind of woman that this man will would like to have. First of all, this is the kind of man that even if he might have his hookups here and there, he would very much like to find the one. He would very much like to have a wife. He would like to find a woman that he will consider the one for him, at least to a degree that is enough to make her his wife. It's going to be that type of man. The Venus in Scorpio man is somewhat very traditional, you know. He wants to be a husband, he wants a wife that will give him children, he wants to have a family with her. And so, usually, he would look for that, but again, because Scorpio is a very sexual sign, he will need, so here's the thing, that this is usually how it turns out. He might be the man, kind of man to like look down on hookup culture, but then because men, because their sexual urges is the more driven sexually the woman, because they are the ones spreading the seed, right? So obviously it will feel that urge, right, that urge to release, to spread the seed, right? So he will have hookups here and there, you know. He might not so he might, even though he might not stay celibate until he finds the one, he might find the hookups to be like a comfort for him until he finds the one, right? Because he's very sexual. He has I would say here it's very important for him. This is when the Venus is in Scorpio and it's a heterosexual man, he needs that, you know. He needs sexual encounters until he finds the one. And even then, because Scorpio is sexual intimacy, he will prefer to have some sort of a connection, because they're very sexually intense sexually driven, right? That makes sense. But even if not, he'll have hookups here and there to satisfy his sexual urges. But, but he he will eventually, if he doesn't find the one, if he doesn't find a woman that is good enough for him to make her his wife, he will be he'll start to be very unsatisfied with it, to the point that it might even either make him angry or make him so dissatisfied it might make him so dissatisfied if he doesn't want to find the one, that he might turn into, like, I want to say, like, a misogynist, which is not funny, or it's like funny, like I'm laughing because it's like, maybe it's a reminds me of like Andrew Tate, which, surprise, also has Venus in Scorpio. No, because here's the thing, like, this man, it's so important for him to find the right woman, to find the woman that will be his everything, will be the wifey, will be very loyal to him. He wants a kind of woman that will worship him. You know what I'm saying? He likes being worshipped. He wants a woman that will be so down for him, she will do anything for him. But again, and I'm not thinking like in a toxic way. I'm talking like, in a way that if a woman is in love, because many women, when they're in love, especially if they're also Venus and Scorpio, when they're in love, they will do, they see their men in some, like, in a godly way, like some sort of a god. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. If you know, you know. So I'm not saying that that every Venus and Scorpio man, if he doesn't find the one, will turn into Andrew Tate, or like Andrew Tate stan. And I'm not saying that he's in any way like Andrew Tate. Yeah, I'm not saying that the Venus and Scorpio man is in any way like Andrew Tate. I'm just saying that Andrew Tate also has a Venus in Scorpio, and maybe because he's an extreme case, it can stem from, as I can see in Andrew's case, why, I'm not declaring anything, because I'm not here to either justify or not justify him. I'm just saying, as an astrologer, I see where that his energy is coming from. And yeah, well, needless to say, I don't believe anything he says, and in social media in general. Hence, he has a displacement. The Venus in Scorpio man is not shallow. That's all I have to say. He's not shallow, and of course, like I said, I'm not saying that if you like a man and he has a Venus in Scorpio, then he's gonna be an Andrew Tate fan, or in any way like Andrew Tate. So if you don't like Andrew Tate, then of course I'm not, that's fine. Like, it's not, I'm just put them like as a reference that came to my head. I'm neutral, guys, okay? Have mercy on me. I'm neutral. I'm not a fan of anyone. I'm not a hater of anyone. I'm neutral, So yeah. But yeah, so he can be, of course, like we're talking about the average guy, because here's the thing, I'm trying to focus on like the elements of, obviously, like the average Venus and Scorpio man, because this video was in a way requested by a woman that hopefully she still subscribes to this channel. Even if she's not, I'm pretty sure that a lot of other women are going to be really curious about this placement, because the videos that get the most views on my channel, as well as other astrologers I noticed, is the placements that talk about, is the videos that talk about either placements with the 8th house, synastry, natally, or Scorpio placements. So yeah, needless to say, this video is probably gonna find a lot of a lot of women are gonna find it helpful, hopefully. So yeah. But yeah, so the Venus in Scorpio man, yeah, he's very sexually driven, but he's very traditional. So eventually he's gonna get sick of all the hookups that he has, and he's gonna want to settle down with the woman that he will declare the one, So yeah, so But like again, I mentioned the woman, speaking of the, with all that being said, speaking of the woman that I mentioned, that might be like, have a crush on a, or a relationship with a Venus and Scorpio man, and they probably want to know how the man is, what he wants. I'm pretty sure a lot of women watching it for that reason, so I'm gonna say it right now. So yeah, like I said, he wants someone that is gonna be a wifey. He wants someone very loyal. So yeah, I'm just gonna warn you ladies right now. If you're with a guy and he has a Venus in Scorpio, and this man even suspects for like split second that you either cheated or just even like flirted with another man, I'm telling you right now, don't, please do not. Just avoid that at all costs, because this man will confront you about it, and he will, he might even get a little creepy about it, because he is creeped out by the idea that his woman might even look at another man, flirt with another man, like obviously if you're very loyal and you're not cheated, but you just flirted or like made eyes with him, even if you just meant nothing even if for you it wasn't even like flirting, and it was just, nah, not for this man. This man will, first of all, he will notice everything, and he will remember that, in the sense that he will like, in a way that will be like, if you did that, even if he didn't mean to test you, in his head, it was a test and you failed. Goodbye. So either will break up with you on the spot, or if you guys been together for a while, he will confront you about it, and if it's unhealthy, you might even get physical. So really depends on the rest of the chart, but usually we just confront you about it, and you will demand an explanation, and you will just, he needs to be calm. Like, he needs to feel like you're all his. Like I said, this man likes to be, needs to be worshipped. He wants a woman that will worship him, and so if you're not into that, it might not be for you. That's all I wanna say. Like, this man with a Venus in Scorpio needs either a woman that also has a Venus in Scorpio, or has or maybe a Venus Pluto aspect, or any Plutonic influence. And to a degree, she needs to be Plutonic, or maybe like have a lot of Capricorn placements, or like a Venus in Capricorn, or a Venus Saturn, because they are also very loyal, traditional, and like very strict about that, because it just doesn't F around. Like, it don't do BS. That's what I want to say. These men, they don't do BS. They just don't. And they can know when you're lying. They're actually pretty good at spotting liars. Lying, yeah. He'll know when you're lying, if you're lying, and if he wants to find out what you did, or in general, you could be totally innocent, but if he wants to find out something about your business, he will find out. And if he finds any funny business, he will not be happy, and he'll confront you. He'll confront you right away, or he will be just very sneaky about it. And I'm telling you, these people, they're the last people you want any sneakiness coming from them. Yeah, and so he's he wants and for the most part, he also wants a traditional woman. Now I'm not saying that you have to like cook and clean the house all day, right? But and you can have your own career, right? But again, he wants, to a degree, some sort of tradition. Like he like you to be in your feminine energy, and to dress feminine in a feminine way, I guess. And actually, his need for you to be feminine doesn't require much. Now, unlike Venus in Capricorn, the Venus in Capricorn men will require much more. It doesn't even require that much, Just, be comfortable in your feminine energy, He wants, He wants you to be loyal, and yeah, he wants to be likes to be worshipped. He might just not admit that. It's not like a Leo kind of energy, you know, or Capricorn, you know. It's but you know, mainly Leo. He wants you to be. He wants you to kind of naturally worship the man that you're in love with and married to. You know what I'm saying? Or married to, I would say rather. But yeah, I'm thinking, what else can I say about this man? I think I already said it all. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with this placement in general, but here's the thing, I already made a video about it. I just noticed I haven't mentioned that. I already have a Venus in Scorpio video on my channel, so if you want like a long general description about it, go watch that video. This is specifically for Venus in Scorpio men. Because also in a way, like I said, it was requested in a way, I feel like. But yeah. So yeah, it will probably be shorter than my Venus in Scorpio video. Because then I talked about it in a general sense. I feel like I've said most things there, and here I'm just, you know, just making it specific for the heterosexual men, for the male gaze. So yeah. Yeah, oh, and yeah. So yeah, he wants like, well, he wants, like I said, somewhat a traditional feminine loyal woman. And here's the thing, he's also very loyal. You know, there's always exceptions to the rule, and it is depends of how the Venus is aspected. If the Venus is badly aspected, like maybe if his Venus is squares or opposites, or has a square or an opposition to Mars, then that might be different. He'll have trouble being faithful. But for the most part, this man is faithful. Like when he settles down and he stops effing around and he quits hookup culture, which he wants to do anyways. So so if he finds the one, if he settles down and marries and has finally found the wifey material he's always been looking for, then this one's gonna be faithful and it's not gonna be have no problem for that, you know. But again, yeah, it's gonna be faithful. But that's why it's important for him to marry someone that is sexually compatible with him as well. So yeah, sexual intimacy and chemistry is very important to him. So yeah, so he wants that, and also the woman to be somewhat traditional and feminine. So yeah, he wants that entire like his woman, his ideal woman, needs to check all the boxes that I just mentioned. Okay, so with all that being said, yeah, he will be faithful to you. If you're his wife, yeah, 100% faithful. And even long-term girlfriend, like this man is this man that actually doesn't do cheating. Like, he doesn't respect cheating, but he also doesn't do cheating. Like, if he's with other women, it's because he's in a polyamorous relationship, which is pretty rare. I'm not going to lie. These men usually don't do polygamy or polyamory, and if they do, they're obviously very honest with it, and it's like an open relationship, but the women agree and consent to it. Usually it's like that. And yeah, but other than that, it's actually very monogamous. Monogamous is very traditional with everything concerning, you know, marriage. You know, monogamous. Yeah, it's pretty faithful. It doesn't even get tempted to be unfaithful because it's so, you know, yeah, he only has eyes for his wife, and usually that's why the sexual compatibility is very. He would disagree to marry someone he's not sexually compatible with because he only wants that with his wife. Like, it's like, no, this connection is like ours, you know. So yeah, unless, like I said, if Venus unless, like I said, if Venus is badly aspected. So look at the way Venus is placed, the aspects, and the house it's in, but it's mostly the aspects that are gonna determine that. Not so much the house, and yeah, and the rest of the chart, of course, but especially the way Venus is aspected. So yeah, so if Venus is well aspected, then all of that I said about the Venus and Scorpio men will apply, and should. So yeah, yeah, I think I already said everything I need to say about this, and yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see you guys. By the way, guys, remember when I mentioned Andrew Tate earlier? He's actually a good example, to be honest with you, of a Venus and Scorpio man unhinged. I'm not going to lie. When the Scorpio man is unhinged, this is why like I even give you a warning. If he's unhinged, there's no telling what this man is capable of. And again, like, look, I mean, see what happened to Andrew Tate. Like, see what he's been accused of. This is a Venus in Scorpio man unhinged. Like, I'm not surprised, to be honest. This is exactly what it screams. Unhinged Venus in Scorpio man. So yeah, because the Venus also rules the woman in your life, you know? And Scorpio is everything to do with chaos. And look how it turned out for him. So yeah, and it's also the way you deal with society, and like, and everybody knows too, so the public is aware of that. So that's what I'm saying. Really be aware of the state of the Venus in Scorpio man. Always be aware of your man, right? But especially if he has Venus in Scorpio. So yeah, take care. Peace. Also, how did I even get to speaking about Andrew Tate? Well, obviously part of the fact that he has this placement, but how did I get to it? How did it come to my head? Because I mentioned the word misogynist, right? Well, again, if he's unhinged, if he's unhealthy, I'm talking about the average Scorpio Venus and Scorpio man, heterosexual gone wild. So if he did, he might become misogynist. Now, but when I say misogynist, I'm not saying it equals Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is an extreme example. I'm not saying you will completely tune into him or a fan of him even. But he might be, when I say misogynist, I mean, he might be like, start to like hate women. But it's not because he actually hates women. It's because he will be so dissatisfied with not finding the washing material. He will be like, all women are whores. All women are hoes, Well, I can say that on YouTube, right? I'm not actually thinking that. Well, he'll be like, hang on. He'll be like, all women are 3 or 4s. All women are. Actually, it might be like a fan. Well, if it really goes downhill, it might be like a fan of all these podcasts. I'm sure you females know what I'm talking about. Like, actually, I might start a podcast. Like, I'm telling you. I mean, it's not funny. It's just like, I don't know. Like, I start thinking about it, it becomes like dark humor. But he might do that if he's entirely dissatisfied, or if he has like an unpleasant experience with a female. Let's say you get rejected a lot. I mean, usually these men aren't. Actually, these men usually are pretty alluring, but maybe earlier on in life, like if they get rejected, then he might. Or maybe if he can, what? If he's the type of friend that maybe like can get girls and everything, but let's say he got rejected by a woman he actually liked, like maybe wanted to marry, and he got rejected, then he might start hating women. You know what I'm saying? Then he will be like, oh, all women are 3 or 4s. Oh, all of them deserve what they get. Yeah, they deserve all these misogynists. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, with all that being said, yeah. Oh, also, by the way, this is what I think. I think I saw something like a documentary once about Andrew Tate, or like a video of him. And he actually said, like, there was like a female that rejected him when he was like broke and with glasses, before he was the Andrew Tate, right? When he was like an average Joe Schmo. When he was a geek, basically, because when he was broke and he like 21, he was like homeless and like a geek too. He was like this geeky boy with like glasses and like playing chess. Anyway, like in that era, like women rejected him. I think multiple women, but like this one woman that said something about him that really stood out to him and like, made him want to change and become the Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? But again, he's an extreme level. But that's a very Venus and Scorpio of him. But again, obviously it's an extreme level. Otherwise, it's it's like the most Google person on earth of 2022. So you know, obviously, it's an exception. So yeah, it's exceptional. But yeah, so yeah, so yeah. With all that being said, I wrapped up this video. And yeah, so yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Leave your comment down below. Tell me what you think, if this resonated, and yeah, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, and please guys, shoot me a donation. Please do me this gesture. I will really appreciate that. Yeah, so my Venmo and my GoFundMe links are gonna be linked down below, as well with my email. So if you're interested in a reading, please email me at my email. That is going to be also down below, and all the prices and everything is going to be down below and in the description box. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video.